He comforts us in all our troubles so that we can comfort others.
Suffering often feels like a thief, stealing our joy, our energy, and sometimes our very sense of identity. Yet this ancient wisdom suggests a different perspective entirely. This scripture does not promise a life without storms, nor does it offer a quick exit from the valley of shadows, but it offers something far more profound: purpose wrapped in presence. When the weight of the world presses down upon your chest, making it difficult to breathe, it is easy to believe that your pain is meaningless, that it is merely a random, cruel twist of fate designed to break you. However, the truth is that your current struggle is not a dead end. It is a forging fire. The comfort you receive today, in the midst of your tears, is the very medicine you will one day use to heal someone else. You are being prepared, not punished. You are being strengthened, not destroyed. This journey through grief is not about moving on as if nothing happened, but about moving forward with a heart that has expanded enough to hold both deep sorrow and an even deeper hope. We are embarking on a journey together right now, one that acknowledges the darkness but refuses to let it extinguish the light, a journey to rediscover the warrior spirit that God placed inside you the moment He knitted you together. You never walk alone in the storm. When the sky turns black and the winds of life begin to howl, the most terrifying lie that whispers in our ears is that we have been abandoned. It is a cold, isolating feeling, as if everyone else is walking in the sunshine while a personal rain cloud follows only you. You look around and see the world moving forward, laughing, building, and living, while you feel stuck in a frozen moment of loss and confusion. The silence of God in these moments can feel deafening. You pray, and you hear only the echo of your own voice. You cry out, and the ceiling seems like brass. But we must understand that our feelings, while real and valid, are not always the best indicators of the truth. The truth is that the teacher is always quietest during the test, not because he has left the room, but because he is watching with intense focus, trusting what he has instilled in you. Eugene H. Peterson captured this harrowing yet hopeful dynamic perfectly when he said, "Darkness comes. In the middle of it, the future looks blank. The temptation to quit is huge. Don't. You are in good company. You will argue with God that you can't see a way past it. He will answer, you don't have to worry about passing it. I am the way." Think about those words. The future looks blank. That is exactly what deep grief and hardship do to the human mind. They erase our ability to imagine a tomorrow that is good. We look ahead and see only a void, a continuation of the pain we feel right now. It is in this exact moment, when the temptation to quit is huge, that you must dig your heels into the ground. You are not the first to stand in this darkness, and you certainly will not be the last. You are in the company of prophets, kings, and saints who all faced the blackest nights of the soul and came out with faces shining like the sun. The argument you have with God is a natural part of this relationship. You might be standing there right now, shouting at the heavens, asking how you are supposed to get past this mountain of debt, this broken relationship, this diagnosis, or this unbearable loss. You are demanding a map. You want to see the destination. You want a detailed itinerary of how this tragedy turns into triumph. But God does not always give us a map. He gives us Himself. When He says, "I am the way," He is inviting you to stop looking for a path through the woods and start looking at the one holding your hand in the woods. If you have Him, you don't need to know where the next step leads. You only need to know who is leading it. This shifts the focus from an impossible problem to an unstoppable God. You do not need to figure it all out today. You do not need to solve the riddle of your suffering before the sun goes down. You just need to hold on. The storm may be raging outside, but the anchor of your soul must hold firm. It is crucial to remember that the presence of a storm does not indicate the absence of God. In fact, throughout history, the most profound encounters with the divine often happened in the eye of the storm. He walks on the water that you fear will drown you. He speaks to the winds that you fear will tear you apart. This means that the very things that are threatening you right now are under his feet. He is not panicked by your emergency. He is not confused by your complexity. He is standing right there, fully capable, fully present, and fully in love with you. There is a profound intimacy that is only found in the breaking. When we are strong, confident, and self-sufficient, we often forget our need for the Creator. We run on our own fuel, relying on our own intellect and resources. But when those resources run dry, when our strength fails, we are positioned to experience God in a way that the comfortable never will. Consider the promise found in Psalm 34:18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. This is not a distant deity watching from a throne light years away. This is a God who draws near. Notice the specific language here: brokenhearted and crushed in spirit. These are not light afflictions. To be crushed means to be pulverized, to feel as though the very structure of your life has collapsed under immense pressure. It is precisely in this state of being crushed that God moves in closer than your very breath. He is attracted to your humility. He is drawn to your vulnerability. When the world might back away from you because they don't know what to say or how to handle your grief, God steps forward. He pulls up a chair right next to your sorrow. You might feel invisible to the world, but you are center stage in heaven's eyes. The tears you cry in secret are not lost, they are counted. The sighs of your spirit are heard as prayers. This closeness is your secret weapon. It means that while you may feel weak, you are actually in the safest place you could possibly be, wrapped in the immediate protective presence of the Almighty. The saving that this scripture speaks of isn't always a sudden removal of the problem. Sometimes the saving is the infusion of supernatural strength that allows you to stand up when gravity is trying to pull you down. It is the peace that defies logic. It is the ability to sleep through the night when your mind is racing. It is the courage to face another day when your heart just wants to retreat. So, friend, lift your head. Look around you with spiritual eyes. You are not walking this road solo. You are shadowed by a love that refuses to let you go. The enemy of your soul wants you to believe you are an orphan, isolated and vulnerable to the elements. Reject that lie with every fiber of your being. Declare to the empty room, declare to the mirror, declare to the storm itself, I am not alone. Let that truth seep into your bones. Let it stabilize your trembling knees. If God is close to the brokenhearted, then He is standing right next to you at this very second. And if God is for you, who can be against you? The grief is heavy, yes. The night is dark, indeed. But the one who stands with you is the light of the world, and no darkness has ever been able to overcome him. You have a companion in this fire. You have a defender in this battle. Do not let fear dictate your next move. Instead, lean back into the arms that are holding you. Let His strength become your strength. The storm is loud, but His whisper is louder. Listen for it. He is saying, I am here. I have not fled. I have not forgotten. We will walk through this together, and we will reach the other side. This is your reality. This is your foundation. Stand on it and let the winds blow. You will not fall because you are held by hands that never fail. The journey ahead may still look steep and the fog may not have lifted completely, but the dynamic of the walk has changed. You are no longer a solitary figure fighting against the elements. You are now a partner with the divine. Every step you take is matched by His stride. When you stumble, His grip tightens to catch you. When you are too exhausted to take another step, He is the one who carries you, even if you don't realize it until you look back and see only one set of footprints. This presence is active, not passive. He is fighting battles in the spiritual realm that you cannot see. He is clearing obstacles further down the road that you haven't even reached yet. Therefore, embrace a spirit of defiance against despair. When the morning comes and the heaviness tries to settle back onto your chest, push it back with the knowledge of His nearness. Remind yourself that the Creator of the universe has cleared His schedule to be with you. There is no meeting more important to Him than the one He is having with your heart right now. This is the source of your confidence. It doesn't come from your bank account, your social status, or your own willpower. It comes from the unshakable fact that the King is in your corner. Let this realization change your posture. Unclench your jaw, lower your shoulders. Breathe in the grace that is available to you. You don't have to be the strong one today. You just have to be the dependent one. Let Him be the strength. Let Him be the shield. Your job is simply to keep walking, keep trusting, and keep your eyes fixed on the one who is the way. The storm will pass, the clouds will break, and when they do, you will find that you are still standing, not because of your own power, but because you were never standing alone. You are cherished, you are guarded, and you are accompanied by the Most High. Walk in that assurance today. Transforming pain into purpose. If we are honest with ourselves, the most agonizing aspect of suffering isn't just the pain itself. It's the gnawing suspicion that the pain is pointless. We can endure incredible burdens if we know they are leading somewhere. A soldier endures the trenches for victory. A mother endures labor for a child. An athlete endures training for the goal. But when grief strikes us blindly, when a job is lost, a diagnosis is given, or a loved one is taken, it often feels like suffering without a cause. It feels like we have been thrown into a chaotic void where hurt exists for hurt's sake. This is where the battle for your soul is truly fought. It is the battle to believe that there is an architect behind the rubble, that your life is not a series of random, unfortunate events, but a deliberate narrative being written by a master author who knows exactly how to weave the darkest threads into the most brilliant tapestry. We have to be brave enough to shift our perspective today. We need to move from asking, "Why is this happening to me?" to asking, "What is this producing in me?" This is not to minimize the agony you feel. Your pain is real, and it demands to be felt. However, if you remain stuck in the shock of the injury, you will miss the miracle of the recovery. The scriptures and the wisdom of the ages teach us that the valley is not just a place of transit. It is a place of transformation. The mountaintop is where we experience the view, but the valley is where the fruit grows. The soil down here, watered by your tears, is fertile. There is a profound, somewhat difficult truth that we must wrestle with, one that C.S. Lewis articulated with piercing clarity when he observed that God allows us to experience the low points of life in order to teach us lessons that we could learn in no other way. Let's sit with that for a moment. Lessons that we could learn in no other way. That is a staggering thought. It implies that there are certain facets of your character, certain depths of wisdom, and certain levels of compassion that were completely inaccessible to you when life was easy. When the sun is shining and the road is smooth, we tend to drift. We rely on our own cleverness. We become self-satisfied. We might even become judgmental of others who are struggling, secretly thinking they just aren't trying hard enough. But when the floor falls out from under us, the illusion of control is shattered. And in that shattering, something new can be born. Think of the patience you are learning right now. You couldn't learn it when everything happened instantly. Think of the empathy that is growing in your heart. Before this tragedy, you might have walked past a grieving stranger without a second thought. Now, you see their pain. You recognize the look in their eyes. You have become a healer because you have been wounded. This is the lesson Lewis is talking about. God is not cruel. He is a teacher who knows that some curriculums require a difficult classroom. He is stripping away the superficial layers of your life, the pride, the distractions, the false securities, so that what remains is unshakable. He is taking you through the low points not to drown you, but to deepen you. You are becoming a person of substance. You are gaining a weight of glory that the carefree version of you could never carry. This process is very much like the refining of gold. The refiner doesn't put the gold in the fire to destroy it. He puts it in to remove the impurities. He sits by the fire watching closely, and he knows the gold is ready when he can see his own reflection in it. Right now, the heat is intense. It feels unbearable, but God is the refiner. He is sitting right there. He is waiting until he sees his own character, his own love, and his own strength reflected in you. Do not despise the fire. It is doing work that comfort could never do. However, accepting this requires a radical change in how we view the intentions of the world versus the intentions of God. We often look at our scars and see evidence of an enemy's victory. We see the betrayal of a friend, the unfairness of a boss, or the cruelty of a circumstance, and we think this was meant to destroy me. And you might be right. The intent of the situation or the person who hurt you might have been purely malicious, but we serve a God who specializes in plot twists. He has the sovereign authority to hijack the enemy's plans and use them for your promotion. There is a moment in the book of Genesis that perfectly encapsulates this divine reversal. Joseph, a man who had been thrown into a pit by his own brothers, sold into slavery, and imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit, looks at the very people who ruined his life. He doesn't look at them with bitterness. He doesn't look at them with a desire for revenge. He looks at them with the eyes of someone who understands the economy of heaven. He tells them, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." This is the anchor for your drifting soul. God intended it for good. Notice that it does not say God pretended the harm didn't happen. It acknowledges the malice. You intended to harm me. It looks the trauma in the face, but then it introduces the but. That simple conjunction changes the trajectory of history. It means that while the enemy was plotting your downfall, God was already planning your comeback. While the world was digging a grave for your dreams, God was planting a garden. The betrayal you suffered, it was real. But God intends to use it to teach you discernment and to position you where you don't need their validation anymore. The loss you are grieving, it is tragic, but God intends to use it to clear a space in your life for a new blessing that you didn't have room for before. The sickness, the failure, the rejection. None of it caught God by surprise. He has already calculated how to recycle that pain into power. He is the ultimate alchemist. He takes the lead of your suffering and transmutes it into the gold of your destiny. You must begin to view your life through this lens of redemptive intent. When you wake up in the morning and the heavy cloud of grief tries to settle over you, you have to speak to it. You have to say, I know you are here to hurt me, but my God will use you to heal me. This changes you from a victim into a victor. A victim looks at the wreckage and says, look what they did to me. A victor looks at the wreckage and says, look what God is building out of this. You are currently in the construction zone. It is messy. It is loud. It looks like a disaster area, but that is because the architect is expanding your square footage. He is knocking down walls that were too small for your future. He is digging foundations deep enough to support the skyscraper of influence he is raising up. If you had stayed in your comfort zone, you would have remained a small, quaint cottage. But God has a destiny for you that requires a cathedral-sized spirit. The pain is the expansion. The struggle is the renovation. So do not waste your pain. There is nothing more tragic than suffering that produces nothing. If you just go through hell and come out the other side bitter, angry, and resentful, then the enemy has won twice. He hurt you once with the event, and he hurt you again by stealing your future. But if you go through the fire and come out wiser, softer, stronger, and more dependent on God, then you have plundered the enemy's camp. You have taken the very weapon meant to kill you and turned it into a trophy of God's grace. This requires a daily, sometimes hourly, decision to cooperate with the work God is doing. It means surrendering your right to understand everything immediately. We are obsessed with the why, but God is interested in the who. Who are you becoming? Are you becoming bitter or are you becoming better? The choice is not in what happens to you. The choice is in how you digest it. You can swallow the poison of bitterness or you can drink from the cup of grace. Think of the legacy you are building right now. One day, you will tell this story. You will not tell it as a tragedy. You will tell it as a testimony. You will tell someone else who is crying in the dark, I know it hurts. I was there. I thought it was over, but let me tell you what God did. Your survival guide will become someone else's Bible of hope. That is the saving of many lives part of the promise. Your pain is not just about you, it is a stewardship. You are carrying this burden so that you can build a bridge for others to cross over. Therefore, stand tall in your brokenness. Wear your scars like medals of honor. They prove that you fought. They prove that you survived. They prove that God kept you. Do not hide them. Do not be ashamed of your limp. Jacob wrestled with God and walked with a limp for the rest of his life, but that limp was the sign that he had prevailed. Your struggle is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign that you are in the ring and you are still standing. The enemy thought he could break you. He thought this last blow would be the one to knock you out of the race. He miscalculated. He didn't know who was standing in your corner. He didn't know that what he meant for evil, God had already marked for good. You are indestructible, not because you are perfect, but because you are purposed. The plans for your life were drafted before the foundations of the earth were laid, and no temporary tragedy has the power to erase an eternal destiny. So let the tears flow if they must, but let them water the seeds of your future. Let the anger rise if it must, but channel it into a determination to refuse defeat. You are a project in the hands of a genius. He has not put down the chisel. He is still working. He is still shaping. And when he is finished, The world will not see the cracks. They will see the glory of God shining through the broken places. You are moving from the pit to the palace. It is a process. It takes time, but the trajectory is set. Trust the intent of your Father. He is good. His plans are good, and He is turning this very moment into a masterpiece. Hold on to that. Breathe it in. Let it settle the chaos in your mind. You are being prepared for something greater than you can imagine. The pain is the preparation. The grief is the gateway. And you are walking through it, hand in hand with the one who makes all things new. Victory through surrender. We have arrived at the final and perhaps the most challenging frontier of this spiritual journey. It is a concept that feels completely counterintuitive to our human survival instincts. When we are attacked, our instinct is to fight back. When we feel our lives slipping out of our grasp, our reflex is to tighten our grip. We white-knuckle our way through the day, trying to micromanage every variable, obsessing over every potential outcome, and exhausting ourselves in a futile attempt to be the sovereign rulers of our own little universes. We believe that if we just think hard enough, worry long enough, or work fast enough, we can fix what is broken. But there comes a breaking point where human effort hits a wall of impossibility. It is in this precise moment of exhaustion that we are invited into the paradox of the kingdom. The only way to truly win is to surrender. This is not the surrender of a defeated army raising a white flag to a cruel conqueror. This is the surrender of a trusting child collapsing into the arms of a loving father. It is the realization that you were never meant to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. That job is already taken. The path to victory, the path to getting your joy, your peace, and your future back does not begin with you trying harder. It begins with you letting go. It begins with the courageous act of opening your clenched hands and releasing the shattered pieces of your life to the only one capable of putting them back together. It is here that the ancient words of the Apostle Paul, written not from a palace of comfort, but from a prison cell of uncertainty, become our lifeline. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. We often see this verse plastered on sports equipment or motivational posters, used as a slogan for athletic achievement. But to relegate it to a mere cheer for success is to rob it of its profound depth. Paul was talking about endurance. He was talking about the supernatural capacity to face any circumstance, hunger or plenty, freedom or chains, life or death, and remain unbroken. He was revealing the secret of spiritual resilience. The emphasis is not on the I can do, as if it were a testament to human willpower. The emphasis is on through Christ. This is the game changer. It means your capacity is not limited by your biology, your history, or your current emotional state. Your capacity is defined by your connection to the divine. When you admit that you are weak, you plug into His power. When you admit you don't have the answer, you open the door for His wisdom. Surrender is effectively saying, God, I resign from the position of general manager of the universe. I trust you to run it. The relief that floods the soul in that moment is indescribable. You stop fighting for victory and start fighting from a position of victory. Imagine the freedom of waking up and realizing you don't have to manipulate outcomes today. You don't have to force doors open. You simply have to abide in Him. This reliance on Christ allows you to face the giants in your life. The giant of grief, the giant of debt, the giant of loneliness, and look them in the eye without flinching. You know that the strength flowing through your veins is not your own. It is the same power that rolled the stone away from the tomb. If death could not hold him, your current struggle cannot stop him. Once we have settled into this posture of surrender and received this infusion of divine strength, our orientation shifts. We stop playing defense and start playing offense. We stop merely trying to survive the day and start looking for ways to conquer it. Grief often makes our world very small. We become introspection, focused inward on our own pain. Surrender breaks those walls down and invites us to look outward again. This is the spirit captured by the pioneer William Carey, who famously challenged a generation to attempt great things for God, expect great things from God. This might seem like a strange command for someone who is hurting. You might be thinking, I can barely get out of bed. How can I attempt great things? But great things in the kingdom of God are not always measured by applause or fame. A great thing might be forgiving the person who hurt you when every fiber of your being wants revenge. A great thing might be serving a neighbor when you are the one who needs comfort. A great thing might be daring to dream of a new career or a new ministry in the ashes of the old one. When you surrender your agenda, you free God to use you in ways that are far beyond your own imagination. You begin to live with a holy expectancy. This is the second half of Carey's challenge. Expect great things from God. This is an attitude of anticipation. It means living with your eyes wide open, looking for the goodness of God in the land of the living. It means believing that God is not done with you, that the best chapters were not burned up in the fire of your loss, but are being written right now with a golden pen. Expectancy kills despair. You cannot be hopeless if you are expecting a miracle. You cannot be depressed if you are genuinely anticipating that God is about to turn your mourning into dancing. This expectancy is the fruit of surrender. Because you have given control to God and you know God is good, you can reasonably, logically, and spiritually expect that the outcome will be good. It might not look like what you thought it would. It might not happen on your timeline, but it will be good. It will be just, and it will be beautiful. So today, make the exchange. Trade your anxiety for His peace. Trade your striving for His strength. Trade your small, fear-filled plans for His expansive, glorious purpose. Stop trying to be the hero of your own story and let Him be the Savior He promised to be. The battle is not yours. It belongs to the Lord. And because it belongs to Him, the victory is already secured. You just have to walk into it. Walk into it with open hands, a trusting heart, and a spirit that is ready to be surprised by joy once again. The night has been long and the shadows have been deep, but look toward the horizon. The light is breaking. You are not the same person you were when this trial began. You have been tested, you have been stretched, and yes, you have been scarred. But those scars are now the markings of a veteran, not a victim. You have learned that you can survive the worst because God is at His best when we are at our end. Do not let another moment be swallowed by the quicksand of what if or if only. The past is a closed door. The future is a wide open gate. Step through it. Step through it with the dignity of someone who is loved by the Creator of the stars. Step through it with the confidence of someone who is backed by the armies of heaven. The world is waiting for the version of you that emerges from this fire, the version that is softer yet stronger, wiser yet more humble, and fiercely alive with the glory of God. Your story is far from over. In fact, the greatest part is just beginning. Go now and live as if you believe the victory has already been won, because in His name it has.